346 people died because of a software system most pilots didn't even know existed. But the disturbing part isn't just the number. It's how ordinary the system looked, until it wasn't. And once you understand it, you don't really see aircraft the same way again. This story doesn't start with failure. It starts with pressure. Boeing had a decision to make: build a completely new aircraft or modify an existing one to compete faster. Time, cost, competition. Those three things quietly shaped everything that followed. The aircraft needed new engines, but the new engines were too large for the original design. So they were moved forward and slightly upward. A small engineering change. But in aviation, nothing stays small for long, because that shift changed how the aircraft naturally behaved in flight. And that's where the real story begins. To correct that behavior, Boeing introduced software, mcas, a system designed to quietly adjust the aircraft without the pilot needing to think about it. On paper, it looked like a safety layer. In reality, it became something far more sensitive than anyone expected.
Because mcas relied on a single sensor, just one.
And if that sensor failed, the system believed the aircraft was dangerously pitched upward. So it reacted automatically, pushing the nose down. Not once, but repeatedly. Even when pilots tried to correct it, the system kept returning. And in those moments, the aircraft becomes a battle between human instinct and automated logic.
And here is where things start to feel uncomfortable.
Many pilots were not fully aware of mcas, not because they were untrained, but because it was not emphasized in standard documentation or simulator training. And the reason for that leads back to something simpler. If pilots needed extra training, the aircraft would have been harder to sell. So, the system stayed quiet.
At this point, the story stops feeling like engineering and starts feeling like consequence. Because every layer you look at leads to another decision beneath it. Faster production, simpler training, minimal changes, all connected, all intentional, all building towards something no one fully predicted. After the crashes, mcas was redesigned. It no longer relies on a single sensor. It doesn't repeat activation uncontrollably. And pilots now receive proper simulator training. These changes are straightforward on paper, but they arrived after the damage had already been done. But even after the fixes, the conversation didn't disappear, because the deeper question never really left. It's not just about one system or one aircraft. It's about how complex systems behave when speed becomes more important than understanding, and whether that trade-off is ever really worth it. So, when you look at the Boeing 737 MAX today, the question isn't only about safety, it's about trust, not just in the aircraft, but in the process that built it. And I'm genuinely curious where you stand on this. If you were in that cockpit, would you trust it today? And more importantly, why?